Fake news. Lots of things probably come to mind when you hear the words fake news. But what you may not realize is that fake news is your fault. And I'm not talking about news that you just don't like. I'm talking about news that isn't real. I've worked in the media industry for more than 10 years. It's fun and it's exciting because it's always changing, but I've also seen the dangers of it. When I was a reporter in Fort Myers, I worked with Haley Hines. Now she's an anchor in Tampa. And one day she was at work and she was being bombarded with notifications on her cell phone. People were saying some pretty hurtful things. She was even getting death threats and she had no idea why. So she put her investigative journalism skills to work. And she found out that all of that hate online stemmed from one tweet, and it came from a stranger across the country. Earlier in the day, a video started going viral, and it was of a blonde woman in a nail salon saying racist things to a woman who worked at the nail salon. And for some reason, this stranger in California tweeted that that blonde woman was Haley. It looked nothing like her, but she tweeted that. And then other people started sharing it. On Facebook, they were even screen grabbing her picture and sharing it. One person on Twitter with a verified account, with the word journalist in his bio, and with more than 2 million followers, retweeted it. Haley was online like crazy, saying, "This wasn't me, this wasn't me." She even told Twitter what was happening. And Twitter said it didn't go against their guidelines. Haley was an innocent victim of fake news. And fake news exists because of people like you. Now, I'm not accusing you of doing something like what this woman in California did, but I am accusing you of sharing or commenting or liking something before you really knew it was true or not. That's why you need to use care before you share. And there are 3 ways that you can do this. Today, we are all members of the media. You want more and more content. So the media is creating more and more content. But the staff that they pay, that's not enough. They need more. So they get some contributors. I was one of those contributors to the HuffPost for a while. And I could publish anything without anybody taking a second look at it. I never took advantage of that privilege, but some people did. There was a contributor for Forbes who was illegally accepting money under the table from people who wanted to be mentioned in Forbes. So when you're reading Forbes and you see somebody's in there, you're probably going to think they're credible, they're an authority in their industry, when really they just paid a contributor a few $100 to get in there. So what's traditional? What's real? What's editorial? What's an advertisement? The lines are blurred. There's a lot of shady things happening behind the scenes that many people at the media outlet don't even know about, and especially you as consumers. So that's why you need to use care before you share. You also need to remember that social media is media. So when people are constantly blaming the media for something, they're blaming you. And it's out of control. Our government doesn't know how to regulate it. Law enforcement doesn't know. Even the social media outlets themselves don't know how to control what's happening online because millions and millions and millions of people are using these platforms every single day. And if you watch The Real Housewives, you know what I mean. People like the drama, and they want to be a part of it. That's why you need to use care before you share. And finally, you control the media. And I'm not talking about social media and what you post on your own platforms. I'm talking about traditional media. When I was in TV, we would come into work, and there would be a piece of paper on the wall, and it would tell us the ratings from the day before. And 9 times out of 10, when we went from a negative story to a positive story, everybody changed the channel. Even though everybody wants to complain, that they don't watch the news because it's so negative. The data shows that's what people are watching. The next time you see a story about a Kardashian or a Jenner, whichever one is your favorite, head to the comments section. Most of what you're going to see is, why is this family famous? I'm so sick of them. Get them off my news feed. But you know what all those comments do? They just drive up engagement. So the news outlet that posted that story, they're not reading your comments. They don't care about what your comments say. They just care you're commenting. So they're going to say, oh, this story about Chloe, that got a whole lot of engagement. Let's give them more of that. Remember the game you played when you were little called telephone? A message would start one way, and then by the time it got to the end, it was all distorted. That's kind of like what the media industry has turned into. But this one is worse, because everybody sees this one, and it can ruin lives, just like it could have ruined my friend Haley's life. So, if you hate it, ignore it. If it's positive, engage with it. And if you don't know, research it. Use care before you share, because you are the media. Thank you.